Hi, good evening, everyone. Today we are going to make a podcast. Myself, Jiva Gupta, and we are here for as a team. Shiva Pradesh, Mithran, and Kanishka joined with me. So, today our podcast title is about government regulation of the digital economy. Where we tackle the big issues shaping our world. Today we are diving into the kind of a hot topic which I have mentioned already. So, with this rise kind of platforms like Amazon, Google, and Meta, the digital economy is getting booming and stepping out into the top. But as it grows, we have some kind of concerns about the privacies and marketing dominance, and also a kind of ethical practices. So we can discuss about in this panel about the with the kind of pros, cons, and the government regulations, which means basically for the digital spaces. So what do you think about this, Kanishka?
The digital economy refers to an economy activities are driven by the digital technologies such as e-commerce, social media platforms, and online advertisements and cloud computing. It's fundamentally reshaping industries and global trade. And regulation is a necessary because while these innovations brings an efficiency, they also raises issues like privacy violations, tax evasion, and anti-competitive practices.
Yeah, exactly, Kanishka. That's what I mean, right? And even today, big giant companies like Amazon and Google dominate these sectors, which are they leaving a little room for smaller players to compete as well. As digital economy is growing in a faster pace, companies use this as a tool and become as a monopoly which they strip off the competition and exploit their workers as well. They used to manipulate these markets effectively, so that for instance that algorithm what they use to create this digital economy is more and more of prioritizing their own product over the competitors, which even create an uneven playing field as well. So it's about my view. So what's your view, Mithran?
Okay, so let us don't forget about the data privacy. First of all, in this generation, the data privacy is the most important thing in the world. So, the data privacy is not just we should have our privacy, it should be a data that whatever we are searching, then whatever we are going to get updated towards that, that should be a private thing that everybody should not know. Like when we see or when we talk into two-way conversation in a mobile phone, then they will listen through it and they will have some suggestion in Flipkart, Amazon, even though in Instagram also. Like I'm talking towards Siva Pradesh that I need to buy a mobile phone like Samsung Galaxy, then I will get a suggestion from Instagram, Flipkart, Amazon, everywhere I will get suggestion about the Samsung mobile. So there is somewhat less data privacy in that. So we look into that GDPR is the most that is Europe's General Data Protection Regulation. It is a prime example for that we should. It is a biggest example that the data is private and personalized with the persons. So we should have somewhat improvement in the data protection. This is my point, yes.
Yeah, I'll to agree with Mithran's point where commonly this digital economy is about which is a kind of technology that is digital technology which is powered with a economic which is powered with a kind of digital sources. So it includes various sources like e-commerce platforms, digital payments, and online services. And also now it is going to pitch off right into the like fintech based industries and services. Yeah, we have several advantages and disadvantages towards that this particular thing. what I'll be taking with Mitran's point is he's just simply stating that is balancing innovation and protection. That is what his point. Yeah, I'll obviously go with that point. We have to use this with a kind of innovative thing and towards safety measures also. So we have to have a kind of preventive measures in as well as like monopolies and ensuring a fair competition towards this. And people will have a kind of hazardous or dislikeness in their data privacies and cyber securities. By addressing them, we can also have a kind of proper importance in regulation. So basically, we want to focus on like consumer protection and by giving them safeguard against the scams, fraudulence, and misuses of personal data. That's what I think so. And coming up to the fair competition, like preventing the tech giants from like monopolizing the market, like single one is dominating over all. So we can protect and regard that during the scam of that monopolization, and we can support small businesses and startups, like they can give easier growth and it will be a kind of wider network where they can be fetching up into this. That's what my view. So what's your view, Kanishka?
On major area is an antitrust laws, and big tech companies often engage in anti-competitive practices such as buying out startups to eliminate the competition. For example, Facebook acquiring the Instagram and WhatsApp raised concerns about market consolidation, and regulators need to enforce the stricter antitrust measures to ensure a level playing field. What's about a point of Mitran?
So another critical area in the data privacy and security is company like Meta and TikTok. As I accept with that, faced a black sheep of mishandling user data. So, I can give a great example like PUBG that have been banned for data privacy because every data that have been inputted in the PUBG has been taken by the China government. That was a main accusation that have been given by the Indian government, and they have banned the PUBG, and they have created a own database, and they have created that. So data should be used as a strictly guidelines on the data, like collection, storage, and usage of consumers' data. That should be under some control. So, like what I have said, that GDPR is the step that right direction. So every country or every state that should be follow in a correct similar framework like that, so that every country have a privacy for their nation peoples and the consumer that they are serving the service.
Yes, true, Mitran. But let's not overlook taxation. Digital gains often exploit tax loopholes to avoid paying their fair share. For instance, companies operating in multiple countries often declare profits in low tax judicious, and OECD's global tax deals aims to address this by introducing a minimum corporate tax rate. What's about the point, Jiva?
Jiva, please unmute.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, coming up to this, cybersecurity is also another concern. So as a digital transaction increases, like so do cybersecurity also gets a kind of attacks. So governments needs to enforce strict cybersecurity standards to ensure peoples and as well as business organizations to protect consumers and to maintain the critical infrastructures among them. So we have several kinds of challenges and regulations to this digital economy. So while regulation is important, it's not without challenges now. So as we are going to college, we'll be having some kind of protocols and rules and regulation towards our kind of organization. So each and every organization should be having some regulations towards the challenges. So that's what here. That is some hurdles which was faced by the government in some kind of areas, which we'll be focusing for the prevention of those hurdles. That what on my view. So what's your view, Mithran?
So another issue is a global coordination. The digital economy operates across the borders. First of all, it should not be under some roof. So, but regulations vary from the country to country, for instance. So there should be equal rules and regulation for the every country and every nation, so that we have a coordination between all the nations, so the data will be private and the data will be not mislead. So the GDPR Red is to Europe, the US lacks of comprehensive federal privacy law like that. So we should have somewhat getting up with a one nation and one privacy, data privacy. What about your points, Pratish?
Yeah, I totally agree with Mitran's point of view. And another thing I like to say is like due to the rapid pace of technology, also these type of regulations will be drafted, and based on the technology evolves, the rules also will be changing on the faster pace as well. So on the basis of technology and digital advancements, policymakers need to adapt some flexible framework also, so that they can adaptable and both flexible towards the cost as well as the effect of the digital economy as well. So one such example I like to say is like when it comes to adopting newer technologies like AI or faster IoT or into some of the advanced technology in upcoming startups also, they pose some challenge as the technology is like they don't have a framework for the technology as well as the upcoming innovations as well. So one such framework which is not even framed and the rules which is not applicable in today's world, it may pose a challenge and become a flexible or complicated task as well. So without framework or without such rules or regulation, the technology which can be implemented in any of the company, it is of no use of as of me. So it's my point of view. What's your point of view, Kanishka?
It's true, Shivapratish, and let's not forget the risk of over-regulation. Excessive rules can stifle innovation and burden startups, which are key drivers of digital economy. And governments need to strike a balance between protecting consumers and encouraging the growth. And what's your point, Jiva?
Yeah, I think that it's a influence on the big tech and lobbying. So these companies may be investing heavily in their lobbying efforts to shape these regulations in their favors, like making it harder for governments. That is, they need to enact with a kind of meaningful changes. That's what on my view. So what's your view, Kanishka?
One solution is fostering public and private collaboration, and government should work with the tech companies to coordinate the policies that protect users while allowing innovations. And for example, initiatives like the US National Institutes of Standards and Technology involve industries stakeholders in setting cybersecurity standards. What's a point of view, Mitran?
So another approach is promoting digital literacy among the citizens. So everybody should know about the digital world and digital privatization. Everything should be educated to the people, so that everybody should be aware of what is going around them and what is digital safety and what is data privacy, so that everybody will not give just an go allow to everything. They will be came up with the reading the process, what is happening and what are the terms and condition was given in that app which was installed by them, so that empower them to make an informed choice of demand accountability and the companies, so that every company will be afraid of stealing the data or misusing or misleading the data of the individual, according to me.
Yeah, I totally agree with Mitran's point of view as well, and it's on the basis of some global level and some international level and some organizations leading to United Nations. On the global level, it can be useful for making some consistent standards for data protection taxations as well as cyber security as well. So moving on and crossing some borders through globalization, it must be effective for privacying and storing all the sensitive informations what companies or organizations in multinational level is focused. So with the help of security transaction and focused cyber security across the border, it is very effective that some consistent standards can regulate the digital economy on a global level basis as well. So it's my point of view, Jiva. What's your opinion?
Yeah, like automation and AI regulations will also be a key towards this. So as this technology gets advanced and they bring a kind of ethical dilemmas. So like this, we'll have some kind of bias in algorithms too. So governments needs to set some standards for their transparency and accountability in these AI systems. So, yep, guys, we have did so much about the panels on this discussion. So, a kind of conclusion in my view is like this has been a fascinating discussion. Like we have shared so much of words. So there are so many opportunities, but also a significant kind of risks also blended with these things. So regulating is not about like hindering growth alone. So it also like it's about creating a kind of fair transparency, security, secure and innovation about the digital ecosystem. So that's what on my conclusion view. So what about you, Kanishka?
Absolutely, Jiva. Governments and tech companies and citizens all have a role to play. Collaboration and adaptability will be key to navigating this digital future. What is point of view, Mitran?
Let us remember technology is only for good. As the system we create around it, thoughtfully regulation of ensure it should be benefits for everyone. It should not be a defect to us or that should not be affect our entire life. So technology or something data, it should be a plus to our life that should not be diminished our life. This is my point, guys.
Yeah, I totally agree with all the point of view as well. And I think that with the right balance and the power of the digital economy can be used in a useful way. It's all about balancing the values of the society and the technological advancement as well. So with the harmony among the society as well as the values of that, with the help of digital economy can be an emerging force for the upcoming generations with the help of digital economy to the greater level as well. With the heightened level of intuition in the digital economy, we can harness this power for helping the society as well as protecting the norms and values for the better generation as well. So it's my point of view, Diva. How's about you?
Yeah. So thank you all for joining today. It's seriously a good session and discussion for us. So thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for your time. Thank you.